Yisbarach v'yish tabach Yisbor v'yizramam v'yiz naseh V'yisadar v'yisaleh Yisal al shemei degucha
Feels good to be able to take a breather together, to just take one day to focus on a little healing, a little rejuvenation, not only for ourselves, but what little we can contribute to the healing of the olam, the infinite expanse of existence, which is how we kind of Jewishly understand God's presence throughout all of creation. I'm Cantor Paul Bush, for those of you who may not know me or whom I have yet to meet, whether here in our sanctuary or online. I serve with Rabbi Jonathan Kupitz, who is up in the northern realms of LA County this evening. Hopefully at least a reasonable amount of time ahead of the rain, supervising one of his student pulpits, a rabbinic pulpit up there. It's the congregation where he is home to our former executive director, Art Beckerman, so I know it would be Art's wish as well as the rabbi that they convey Shabbat Shalom from their whole congregation. And we have our shul band with us. We're going to do a couple of special things tonight. First of all, it's Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday weekend, so we're going to do a couple of special things to honor Dr. King. We're going to have a word from one of our TBI students who has recently returned from studying in Israel. We're going to do a little teaching on the Torah portion and spend some time together singing. So that's where we're going to go right now with our opening nigun. If you've been with us before, hopefully you know the tune. If you haven't been with us before, the words are very complicated, but I'm sure you can handle them. I think there are just 3. First one is I. Second one is Diddy. You know what the third one is? Die. You got it. Goes like this. I did it, I did it, I die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Let's try that again. I did it, I did it, I die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. I did it, I did it, I, die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Die, 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 I did it, I did it, I, die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. I did it, I did it, I, die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. Die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. I die, die, I did it, I did it, die, 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 die. Ya did I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, die, 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 die. I did it, I did it, I. So we will turn to the blessing of our Shabbat candles in our Siddurim. You'll find that on page 2. You'll notice that the candles have been previously lit during our family service, but I will still invite us all to rise and to chant the blessing together. But before we do that, let us read the second paragraph, the second section on page 3 together. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. You may be seated. The way our Siddur, our prayer book, is laid out as we enter into Shabbat, it gives us the opportunity to review 6 Psalms, 6 selections from the book of Psalms. And those correspond to the Psalm of the day for each one of the days of the week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're not going to go through them right now, but we do take a moment, again, to take a collective deep breath. Let's do that together, maybe 3 times. Just take it in. Let it out. Breathe in deeply again. Let it out. And one last time together, deep breath in. Breath out. And we'll just take a moment to kind of review our week in our own minds and take an opportunity to push all of the challenges aside and maybe bring forth something beautiful that happened and enter into Shabbat in a new and reshaped spirit. We're going to turn to page 20 in our Siddur for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi is a welcoming poem. It welcomes the Shabbat into our space and into our hearts as if she were a bride or a queen. It's an ancient Kabbalistic meditation, and the imagery is very beautiful and very evocative of what we would hope Shabbat would be. So I invite you to join me in a little call and response to start us off. Lecha Dodi. Your turn. Lecha Dodi. Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Now the energy shifts. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Shambo v'zacho v'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamikad, Adonai echad, U'shmo echad, Shem מתעוררת ולתחילה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקראת שבת וכוון אלך תהי מקור הברכה בראש מקדם נצלוחה ומעשה במחשבה תחילה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה. Paragraph 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, תברך ומיורי, אורי, שדברי, ירור אדוני עלייך נגלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה. לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה. Custom to rise and symbolically welcome the Shabbat Queen into our midst. Please do so and face the door. Oh, Eve Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam Besimcha, Uvsola, Tochamunei, Am segula, voi chala, voi chala, lechadoti, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat, nikabela, lechadoti. Likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. If you're able to remain standing as we transition to the core part of our service with Chatzi Kaddish, we'll be on page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Ve'alma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich Malchutei V'chai yakon u'vyom echon Uv'chayei lechol bet Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Veimeru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach,
לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתו תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו
We continue, if you're able to continue standing. Minor is the first chord, right? Perfect. With our call to prayer, Baruch Hu.
Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Am I listening to my prayer? Can I hear my voice? Does God really understand? Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Die, 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 die. Gotta die, die, die. Gotta die, die, die. Gotta die, die, die. Gotta die.
Continuing the last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30.
El chai v'kayam tamidim l'chaleinu l'olam va'en Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravi.
Let's join together reading on the bottom of page 33. Second section. Together. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Last four lines.
Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai ohem amo Yisrael.
If it is your custom to rise for Shema, we invite you to do so. This time, page 34, are beautiful words that express the oneness and the connectedness of all creation.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahem. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahem. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Let's continue in the English on page 37 together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Last paragraph in the Hebrew on 36. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. So I mentioned as the service started, one of the special mentions that we are going to include in our service tonight is to find moments to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and one of those who stood side by side with Dr. King was Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. And as we move towards Micha Mocha, our prayer of freedom at the shore of the sea that you'll find in your Sidurim on 40, I want to include a quote from Heschel. The first conference on religion and race took place in Egypt. The main participants were Pharaoh and Moses. Moses said, quote, "Thus saith the God of Israel, let my people go." And Pharaoh answered, "Who is the Lord that I should heed his word? I will not let them go." The outcome of that summit meeting has not come to an end. Pharaoh is not ready to capitulate. The Exodus began, but it is far from being complete. Micha Mocha, page 40. la 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 la. Lie la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie. La la lie la 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 lie. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie. La 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 Adonai lo la 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 Emar Kifadano Nayet Yaakov Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. At each evening service, we take a moment to ask the Holy One's protection through the sometimes foreboding darkness of the night. We ask that we be provided a Sukkot Shlomecha, a canopy of peace over us, over our families. And as we join together on page 42 for Hashkivenu, let us all imagine that tabernacle over those we love and over our whole world. Hashkivenu. Just 1 minute. Let's just do the camp version. Okay. I know. Naomi and Lena will be happy. We're shifting to the camp version. Cool. Indeed. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Lehamidenu Shomreinu, Lechayim, Frosaleinu Sukkot Shalom Mecha, Frosaleinu Sukkot Shalom Mecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, oh Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, oh Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Vehamidenu Shomreinu Lechayim, Rosaleinu Sukkot Shalom Mecha, Rosaleinu Sukkot Shalom Mecha. Thank the Holy One for the gift of Shabbat with Vishamru, page 44. All together. Give it up. Beini uvein b'nei Israel, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, asu et ha-Shabbat, l'toratam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, asu et ha-Shabbat, l'toratam b'rit olam. McCoy Tyner's in the house. U'v'yom ha'shvi, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. So beginning on page 46 with the introductory words of Adonai Svatai is our Amidah, our standing prayer. So in just a moment, I'll invite you to all rise as we sing those words together, and then we'll continue on pages 48, page 50, and 52, after which I invite us all to take just a brief moment of silent reflection. And when you have completed your silent reflection, please feel free to be seated once again. We're just going to do a simple one. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Ata Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot U'mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magid Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Morid agashem, Mechaltel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofeh olim, Umatir asurim, Kayem emunato lishenei afar, Mi chamocha ba'al gevuro, Umido melach, Melech mimidu chayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Ata Adonai Mechaye Hakol. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Take a couple minutes. So as I mentioned, in a moment, we have a special tribute to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King on this King's birthday weekend. But this week's Torah portion is one of the most fascinating ones, and I did not want to move forward without at least bringing out one of the essential teachings, which comes when Moses, who has been tending the flock of his, who was ultimately his father-in-law, Yitro, or Jethro as he is known, comes across a bush burning in the wilderness. And even though the bush is fully inflamed, it is not consumed. It continues to burn. I don't know if that was the original idea behind some of those ceramic logs that many of us have in our fireplaces, but you know, like a ceramic log, only this is a living object. The bush continues to burn and is not consumed. And as Moses approaches that bush, he hears a voice come forth and says, Moses, take your shoes off, for the land on which you stand is holy ground. And of course, as most of us know, the voice from the bush turns out, at least as Moses hears it, to be the voice of God and the story of the freedom and really the creation of the Israelite people, of whom we are the inheritors of their heritage, begins anew in that very day as Moses ultimately is given the unenviable and difficult task of going to Pharaoh and asking Pharaoh to, really demanding of Pharaoh to let my people go. So this is a song about what it's like to stand on holy ground. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place and every way, where you stand, where you walk, where you love, where you pray, all of it is holy ground. Every he, every she, every what, every, it's in her, it's in me, it's in them, it's in you, in the bitter, in the sweet, in the calm and in the storm. All of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Have you hurt when you heal, when you laugh, when you pray, when you doubt, when you keep, when you give it away? Every second, every minute, every hour, every day. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Sing it, join me now. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. One story, one journey, one tapestry we weave. One people, one glory, one legacy we leave. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place and every way, where you stand, where you walk, where you love, where you pray, all of it is holy ground. Can you feel the holy ground? Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. So my good friend Chazan Jack Kessler, who I had the honor of spending a bit of time with this past week at the Ohala conference in Denver, a few years ago took the words of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream speech and set it to the sacred chant of Haftarah, the prophetic books of the Bible. And I will venture to share that with you in just a moment. But first, because it is a prophetic voice, and our tradition honors prophetic voices, I'm going to invite us to turn in our Sidurim to page 200 and just got to get it here. 254. For the blessing before Haftarah, which I will chant in English in the traditional melodies. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who have chosen faithful prophets to speak words of truth. Praise to you, Adonai, for the revelation of Torah, for your servant Moses, for your people of Israel, and for prophets of truth and righteousness. We're on the move now. The burning of our churches will not deter us. We're on the move now. The bombing of our homes will not dissuade us. We're on the move now. The beating and killing of our clergymen and young people will not divert us. We're on the move now, like an idea whose time has come. Not even marching of the mighty armies can halt us. We are moving to the land of freedom. Now the fact that this new age is emerging reveals something basic about the universe. It tells us something about the core and the heartbeat of the cosmos. It reminds us that the universe is on the side of justice. It says to those who struggle for justice, you do not struggle alone, but God struggles with you. This belief that God is on the side of truth and justice comes down to us from a long tradition of our faith. I'm convinced that the universe is under the control of a loving purpose, and that in the struggle for righteousness, man has cosmic companionship. Behind the harsh appearances of the world, there is a benign power. I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war, that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I refuse to accept the cynical notion that nation after nation must spiral down in a militaristic stairway into the hell of thermonuclear destruction. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. That is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. I have the audacity to believe that peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. I believe that one day mankind will bow down before the altars of God and be crowned triumphant over war and bloodshed, and nonviolent redemptive goodwill will proclaim the rule of the land. I still believe that we shall overcome. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to have a longer life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I looked over, and I've seen the promised land, and I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Blessing after, bottom of page 254. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God, whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and the Shabbat that you, Adonai our God, has given us for holiness and rest, for honor and glory, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever and by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness. And we say together, Amen. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King as set to traditional Haftarah melodies by Chazan Jack Kessler. We now take a moment to turn our hearts to those who are in need of healing. If you are with us online and have a name that you would like to include, please do so in the chat if you're on a Facebook particularly, which allows that sort of interaction. For those here in the sanctuary, I'll read the names on our congregational list. If you have a name to add, I'll join you in the congregation as I finish the list of our congregants and their friends. Page 253 in our prayer books, if you want to, although this is an interpretive version. Oh, Holy One, blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our our prayer as we say their name. Akadosh Baruch Hu Himalera Lehansikam, Urapa Otam, Veishak Lahem, Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Letov Sha'ar Cholei Israel. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. We ask for prayers of healing for Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobag, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Polikoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Jennifer Root, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Robert Strober, Marilyn Zabarski, Ellery Einstein, Patricia Kramer, Joan Morse, Naomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Myra White, Lori Snyder, Charity Raised, Mike Klein, Lily Morrison, Barbara Fass, Joel Beasy, Burton Gershman, David Bush, Howard Bush, Lawson Spicer, Mark Fenton, Gloria Foster, Rita Warshaw, Ira Quatcher, Robert Gerard, Stephen Arzt, Adele Harris, Brenda Fong Gerard, Ron Friedlander, Harvey Sherman, Jan Marcus, Fred Fable, Steve Sage, Marla Fergoso, Candy Stevens, Mark Fenton, Martin Cole, Noah Teague, Al Shapiro, Charles Nelson, Jeff Nelson, Ron Resnick, James Stead, Max Scriva, Larry Kubel, Jayla Kubel, Gina Eli, Robert Waldman, John Rogers, Barry Gustafaro, and Udit Gradstalak. Kadosh Baruch Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their name. So it is, for us anyways, since we postponed it last week, the first of the month for birthdays. So if you have a January birthday, I invite you to rise and to gather together towards the back of the green carpet. Anybody have a birthday they want to come on down? No? Oh, we got one. We
got one. We got two. We got three. Even if we only have one, we need talit holders. You're going to hold the talit, grab the talit. Come on, Lena. It's right there in the, Rich, should be right there in the top. So we need, we got four. We got, Lena, you're going to be very special, but you're representing all of those who are online. Let's sing her down, ladies and gentlemen. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. So, Lena, we are so honored to be able to use you as a vehicle to not only bless you, but to bless those in our community who may be having January birthdays. And we'll use the ancient words of our tradition, which God instructs Moses to tell his brother, Aaron, when you bless the people, use these words. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Holy One bless you and sustain you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the holy face be turned towards you, and may it provide graciousness unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha Ve'asem lecha shalom. And as the holy face is turned to you, may it provide you with the most precious of blessings, the blessing of wholeness, of unity, and of peace. And we say together, Amen. And if you'll allow me to just walk a little bit past you here. I have a very special gift. Yeah, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, the official Temple Beth Israel birthday pencil, a joint venture of TBI and Mark Feynman, all the way from Oceanside. Those are shipped in by special courier. Make sure they're here for you. Let's sing Lena out, although she'll be right back. Actually, Lena, why don't you just stay up here? You have your things or you need to get it? Okay. Lena's going to go down and come right back up, and I'll explain why when on her way down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. One more time. Yom Huledet Sameach. We'll be here every month. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Oh. That's really amen, but you get the feeling. So, in Israel, there's an incredible institution developed by the progressive Jewish community called Heller High School, which gives Jewish teens from all over the world, but mostly from the United States, to spend some of their high school education years in Israel. And Lena Shapiro has returned, well, I guess 2 weeks ago today, from her fall semester at Heller High in Israel, and she wanted to share a few words about that experience. So, Lena?
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Lena, and 4 months ago, I received a blessing from Rabbi and Cantor to study abroad in Israel for one high school semester in a program called URJ Heller High. I was in a group of 17 other teenagers, and we lived on a kibbutz just outside of Jerusalem. As soon as we arrived in Israel, I immediately felt the difference. Especially on Yom Kippur, I felt the transition from being like the only Jewish person at my school to being in a Jewish majority. My group and I lied down in the middle of an intersection in Jerusalem, deliberately because there was no cars. We sang songs with other high school groups and skipped down the middle of that empty Jerusalem street. I just remembered we also saw Bibi Netanyahu. He was just walking, so yeah. It felt so good to not have to worry about catching up on the schoolwork that I would have missed in order to observe our Day of Atonement, or for just simply being Jewish. As a part of our Jewish history course, we had field trips every week. I've hiked from the Sea of Galilee to the Mediterranean Sea, volunteered on an IDF intelligence base, snorkeled in the Red Sea, climbed Masada and through the caves of the Bar Kokhba revolt, and visited sites of the Six-Day and Yom Kippur War, where they took place. Before I left, I imagined Israel as like a desert country, dry and brown like California, but these trips and these hikes showed me how full of life and how green Israel really is. It was really fascinating how every inch of land has a deep history within its roots, and every like stone, every rock is just thousands of years old and has a story to tell. As we moved on to the World War II unit in Jewish history, we took a trip to Poland and visited Auschwitz, Birkenau, the shtetl, and mass graves in Tikocin. If being Jewish feels like an active struggle in America, I couldn't imagine how it must have felt for those during the Holocaust. I feel that although we learned a lot more about this time in history, we learned the most about ourselves. We drew nearer as a community rather than a class. It brought us closer to where we all really felt responsible for one another. Being at those sites truly showed me the strength of our ancestors and gives me reason to stand for the Israel comprised of many different kinds of people living together in that very small piece of land. The Heller High program grew my love for the real Israel as they never shied away from the challenges, the imperfections, and yes, even mistakes when teaching Israel's successes, values, and beauty. The semester in Israel was not only about the field trips, but we also took the academic classes that we would normally take in America. The classes were quite small, and I was the only student in my physics and economics classes. I loved that I was able to get close with my teachers, feel free to ask questions and not feel like I'm holding up an entire class, and learn at my own pace. One thing I want to highlight is that on the trip to the Sea of Galilee, the biggest water reservoir for Israel, we saw the trenches and streams bring water all over the agricultural land. We saw the the mountains are fully covered by green, such as pine trees, olive trees, and pomegranate trees. There are even some tropical fruits like bananas due to Israel's advanced agricultural technology. By using water desalination and the most advanced water irrigation system, Israel has a water surplus that allows for exports to Jordan. So now we have sun, we have water, we have the IDF for defense. We are not going anywhere. We're going to stay forever. Lastly, I would like to thank TBI for supporting me on this meaningful journey and letting me speak about it, and for all of you for listening. I would also really encourage my peers to take this opportunity, or any opportunity, to visit Israel, especially through Heller High. I felt welcome the moment I arrived, and their hard work in making this experience the best it could have been for us. If you or anyone else you might know might be interested in Heller High or have any questions, I would be more than happy to talk about it or anything. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Lena. There are so many wonderful programs that engage teens in Israel. There is summertime programs. There, of course, is Heller High. If you get a little older, there are many trips such as Birthright. But if you or in the congregation or any of our families out there are interested, as Lena referred to, we do have ways to help support that journey. Thanks to the generosity of those who came before us. And if you are interested, don't hesitate to talk to Rabbi Kupitz. In fact, we have 2 more students leaving next week for their spring semesters in Israel. I believe that if you're around a week from today, we might get to say goodbye to them. So thank you so much again, Lena. Some announcements from a member of our Board of Trustees, Jack Warshaw.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Temple Beth Israel, I want to welcome all of you who are here tonight and joining us on the internet. Special thanks to Cantor Bush for a wonderful service and an amazing Haftarah, to the Shul Band for their wonderful music, and Lena, thank you so much for telling us about your adventure. It really was a great story. Thank you. Some thank yous again for who are here tonight. Thank you to the ONEG committee who will be hosting that tonight. Our greeters outside tonight, Kylie Sykes and Debbie Harris. Our lobby greeters, Phyllis Blackie, Judy Rose, and Laura, our president. Driveway greeters, Toyash Sabag, and our security guards who are here to make sure that we're all safe. After the service, we'll gather in the social hall for Kiddush, motzi, refreshments, and conversation. Please take this opportunity to get to know someone new, which will help continue to build our warm, personal Jewish community. We have a very busy and engaged community. Find what interests you in the weekly update that's emailed to you every Thursday, the monthly Kehillah, and our website and Facebook page. In particular, there are 3 events that I want to bring to your attention. In the community, this next week we'll have the Every Person Has a Name, which is the 25-hour Holocaust Remembrance Program that's put on by the Jewish Federation of the San Gabriel and Pomona Valley. And I know that there are still some need for some readers for that, so if you're at all interested on that one, please visit the website, jewishsgpv.org, to be able to join and be part of that program. Security, we have security committee that has put together a security training program that will be done the next 2 Sundays, once in the morning, the 22nd and the 29th, morning and an afternoon session. All congregants are invited, if you have not yet done the security training, to please come and join for that. And you can call the TBI office to RSVP. And then lastly, reminder, you should have all received your invitation to the Red Carpet Night, to the event that will be taking place, Movable Feast on February 4th. I encourage all of you to RSVP. Please come and join. It will be a wonderful, wonderful evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Jack. Certainly want to add just thanks to the wonderful Shul Band and introduce them all to you. We have just kind of going around the semicircle here. Chris Gacci on percussion, Dana Sundin on woodwinds, Ed Beardsley on bass, Reed Gratz on piano, Jeff Klein on drums, and also want to give a shout out to Al Shapiro, who is still recovering, one of our woodwind players, and we wish him a refuah shlema. May it come speedily and soon. That's Lena's dad. So he would usually be here, and sure, if he's watching online or if he sees the video, he's going to be very, very, very proud of the beautiful words you shared with us. So. The only other announcement that I have is you may or may not be aware that our federation is sponsoring the annual reading of names on International Holocaust Day, which I think is, I want to say it's the 21st, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. I went out and registered, I signed up and registered on their website for, I think, a 12:30 a.m. slot. There are still some late night slots available. I was surprised at actually how many were filled, but they still definitely need some readers. It's just reading a list of names. It's a powerful experience. You can do it either at home if you have Zoom capabilities, or live at Pasadena City Hall. So please go to the Federation website at jewishsgpv.org to register for that. And thank you for considering that. We're going to to close our service with Aleinu. I invite you all to rise as the ark is open.
לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Seated. We take this moment to recognize those who have passed in recent days or at this time in seasons past. We particularly remember those who have died within the last 4 weeks of the names of Rosaline Lerner, grandmother of Emily Lerner, Rick Duran, relative of Steve Eli, Joan Cohn, aunt of Adele Harris, Clara Zink, mother of Carrie Knoll, Samuel David Cohen, brother of Lillian Metlitsky, and Fambra Fine, a friend of TBI. Sandra Fine, not Fambra. Sandra Fine, a good friend of TBI, someone who has so compassionately assisted those in need in our community at times of passing. We also remember the Yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the death of Beatrice Braun, Bernard Rudin, Zelda Eisenberg, Lillian Patterson, Jay Schlossberg, Milton Wind, Natalie Lustig, Mamie Scher, Bertha Smillickstein, David Sugarman, Jim Aiken, Jess Gilman, Abraham Kravitz, Ralph Lewis, Hyman Singer, Richard Alzerson, Dorothy Klan, Harold Loeb, Camilla Perlis, Diana Schifris, Sylvia Silvers, Harry Abramson, Dr. Norman Avnet, Beverly DePrisco, Beatrice Gordon, Theodore Maljan, Selma Applebaum, Thomas F. Brasher, Alex Helvey, and Herbert Leonard Wachtel. If you're in a time of mourning and observing a Yahrzeit, I invite you to rise in this time, and if you have a name of anyone you would like to add or correct a name I may have mispronounced, please do so as well. And if you are accustomed to rise and support those who mourn, I invite you to do so also at this time as we join together for Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, va'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ul'olmei al-maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekutsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel and all humankind, to which we say, amen. So if you're able to remain standing, we're going to close on this weekend honoring Dr. Martin Luther King with We Shall Overcome. I will let you know what the other verses are. I think we're all familiar with the basic words and melodies, certainly the first verse. So let me get my guitar here. I also want to thank everybody for hanging in there for what was a little bit of a longer service tonight due to all the kind of special events, but I hope you feel as that I do that there was a lot of good reason to do so. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, all of those who joined us online. We appreciate your support and your engagement. Those of us in the sanctuary, please join me in the social hall. All the way to the back if you can, after you get some juice or wine at the table there on the left, so we can do Kiddush and Motzi, have some refreshments, have some snacks, and get to know each other. Try and say hi to someone who you don't know. And if you know everybody, then I don't know. I see a couple of faces I don't know, so find them out. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Shabbat. Oh, and thanks to Phil Mendelson, if you didn't cut off the video already. Yes, Elliot, what do you want to tell me?